just read a headline, Company X cuts 500 jobs, AI is taking over. Your stomach drops. You think, am I next? Here is something that might surprise you. People felt exactly this way in the 1800s, and most of them were still working 10 years later, just differently. Today, we go back in history to find out what their story can teach you. Welcome to Book Takeaways for Professional Growth Podcast. I'm your host, Sophia, and this is part 1 of our 3-part series, Will AI Replace Me? In this episode, we look at the past through a powerful book called The Technology Trap by economist Carl Benedikt Frey. In episode 2, we move to the future with Life 3.0 by Max Tegmark. And in episode 3, we bring both stories together and ask, what does all this mean for you right now in your career? If you listened to our earlier episodes on prediction machines and co-intelligence, today we add a deeper layer, the long history of human fear and adaptation. So let's start addressing your concerns about AI replacing you. Are you ready? Let's go. Segment 1. The pain. I feel like my job is disappearing. Let me describe a feeling you may know very well. Your company is bringing in AI tools. Management talks about efficiency and digital transformation. Some tasks you used to do are now partly automated, and you read article after article saying that middle-class jobs are under pressure. You ask yourself, is this the end of my career, or will I be okay? You also wonder, is my generation the first to feel this kind of fear? The answer, according to the technology trap, is no. You are not the first, not even close. During the Industrial Revolution in Britain, from about the 1760s to the mid-1800s, millions of workers watched machines arrive in their factories and workshops. Skilled craftsmen who had spent years learning their trade saw machines do the same work faster and cheaper. According to Frey and economic historians, in specific sectors like cotton textiles, productivity rose sharply, but many artisan workers, such as handloom weavers, experienced stagnating wages or even real hardship for decades. It is important to say that the full picture was more complex. Average living standards did eventually rise, but with a long lag and with very unequal distribution. Workers did not just accept this quietly. There were protests, strikes, and sometimes violence. The Luddites, a group of English textile workers, destroyed machines that they believed were destroying their livelihoods. In one documented example from Verviers, Belgium, lamplighters smashed electric street lamps when they feared for their jobs. So when you feel anxious about AI today, remember, you are not being weak or irrational. You are experiencing something that working people have felt again and again throughout modern history, what we could call very similar patterns of fear and resistance, even if the technology and the context are different each time. Segment 2. The book, What Does the Technology Trap Teach Us? So what is the main message of Frey's book? Frey, who teaches economic history at Oxford, argues that major technologies like steam engines, electricity, and now AI tend to bring huge benefits in the long run. But in the short and medium term, many workers experience real pain, job losses, wage pressure, rising inequality, and social conflict. He calls the central dilemma the technology trap. If leaders block new technology to protect today's jobs, they lose future growth. If they push new technology without support systems, they get growth, but also social anger, inequality, and political instability. 3 key lessons from history. First, people in earlier eras also felt their world was breaking. They did not know that decades later, things would improve. Second, the improvement was not automatic. It came through education, worker rights, social safety nets, and wise policy. Better outcomes were built. They did not just happen. Third, when you ask, will AI replace me? Frey would say AI can replace some tasks and some jobs, especially routine, predictable ones. But the most important question is not the technology itself, it is how we manage the transition. This connects with prediction machines, which showed that AI makes certain kinds of prediction very cheap, and that human judgment becomes more valuable as a result. Frey adds the historical context. The institutions and policies around technology decide who wins and who loses from these changes. Segment 3. Practical steps. What can you do this month? You might be thinking, okay, this history is interesting, but what can I actually do? Here are 3 concrete steps. These are informed strategies based on what labor research and career experts suggest, not guaranteed solutions, but reasonable actions you can take now. Step 1. Map your tasks into 3 columns. Take a piece of paper or open a document. Make 3 columns. Column A, mostly rule-based and repetitive, things like filling in forms, generating standard reports, or sorting data. Column B, I do it, but AI tools help. Writing first drafts, basic research, scheduling. Column C, deeply human, coaching a team member, negotiating a difficult contract, building trust with a client, making ethical decisions. Now, list your main weekly tasks and put them in the right column. Research on automation, particularly from the last few decades, suggests that routine, predictable tasks face higher risk of automation, while tasks requiring complex judgment, relationship building, and creativity are harder to automate right now. But be honest, generative AI is already moving into some creative and knowledge work, so even column C needs monitoring. Step 2. Learn one complement skill. In previous technology waves, workers who did better were often those whose skills worked together with the new machines, not against them. Choose one skill to develop in the next 3 months. Data literacy, becoming comfortable reading charts and understanding simple numbers. Communication, explaining complex ideas clearly to people who are not specialists. People skills, mentoring, conflict resolution, building professional relationships. Set a simple, specific goal, 1 online course, 1 book, or 1 small project. The key is action, not just planning. Step 3. Ask the right questions at work. Frey's history shows that company and government choices matter a lot for whether workers benefit or suffer during technology transitions. You may not control the whole system, but you can be an active participant. Ask, what is our company's plan for training people, not just buying new AI tools? Ask, how will this AI change roles, not just cut jobs? Offer to join an internal group discussing AI adoption. Share what you learn from episodes like these. Ask for training, not just access to tools. Even small voices can shape how technology gets introduced in organizations. Segment 4. Closing. Today, we saw that your question, will AI replace me, is part of a very old story. From British textile workers to Belgian lamplighters to today's global professionals, similar patterns of fear and disruption have appeared before. The difference is, we now have the benefit of that history. We can learn from it. In our next episode, we move from the past to the far future with Life 3.0. We will ask, what if AI doesn't just replace tasks? What if it becomes something closer to a new form of life entirely? And what might that mean for your career and for humanity? Until then, map your tasks, pick one skill to build, and remember, you are not the first generation to navigate this, and you don't have to figure it out alone. Let's build a community of well-informed professionals that supports each other during this period of change. Leave a comment or simply write yes in the comment section below. We've got this.